Welcome back, Jake Paulers. Today, we are looking at another video from Logan Paul, which is what I have been waiting for. So if you guys don't know, if we go back to my first video I made on the situation, which was my last one, Logan Paul committed a crypto scam of sorts. I shouldn't say of sorts, it is. He committed a crypto scam where he essentially had a game idea, didn't pan out, made a bunch of people brokies, and he never actually came out and apologized. Now, this scam that he pulled off was 2 years ago or 1 year ago, something like that. And he didn't actually make a public apology related to it. But recently, and I mean very recently, CoffeeZilla has come out and started making videos about this. In which he essentially did a 3-part series in investigation, a year-long investigation into how Logan Paul's scam went down, people involved, and who it essentially affected, right? And how it overall played out. Logan Paul recently, on January 3rd, he teased this. It was this big teaser. He teased his response video to CoffeeZilla's investigation. If you guys hear that in the background, that's my fire alarm going off because I refuse to change the batteries out. But anyways, Logan Paul teased his big response video on CoffeeZilla, which was supposed to address the allegations that CoffeeZilla presented in his 3-part, very 1 year long investigation that he did, right? He was gonna address all those, but instead he actually didn't. Now I'm gonna get into the video, and it's interesting because I'll just show it. We are right now on Logan Paul's channel. As you guys can see on screen, we're on Logan Paul's channel, right? This is where he originally posted his video, okay? But now, he made the situation worse, okay? He made it worse because the video is not up on his channel anymore. Now, you have this video that was 1 day ago, right? You have a video that was a month ago, but that video came out 3 days ago. Now, if you look at the date here in the bottom right corner, it's January 6th. He uploaded his video on January 3rd, which was the day he kept teasing he was going to talk about this, right? Right after Christmas, right after New Year's. That was his point. The video's no longer on his channel anymore. And it gets worse because I thought maybe he took it off of his channel, or I wasn't sure. Maybe I thought maybe I was just blind and I couldn't see the thumbnail. No. I went on Reddit to r/videos where Tom Cruise obviously uploaded this, right? And this was the original video on this Reddit post, but as you can see, video unavailable. If I go click the link, nothing pops up. Now I was like, okay, you know what? Who cares? Maybe they got it wrong. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, right? Let's give Logan the benefit of the doubt. Nope. If you go on his Twitter page where he posted the thumbnail, he posted a little tweet, and he posted the link to the video, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I was giving Logan Paul the benefit of the doubt, but he took the video down before I could even make a video on it, right? And he took the video down because of the negative backlash that the video was getting. Now, okay, that's all fine, right? What did he do instead of all of this? He went ahead and he uploaded a video on his Impulsive podcast, which is what he does, right? In the Impulsive podcast, he tried to hit 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Where he addressed the crypto scam allegation and he apologizes to George for mocking faith, which was a topic I also discussed in my last video, right? He tries to tackle 2 of the biggest controversies that he's surrounded by right now, crypto scam being the biggest, which is what he focuses the most on his podcast. I don't know why Logan's team thought it would be a good idea to take down the video, because now it just makes him look more guilty than ever, because he got a lot of facts wrong in his own video. And things he claimed CoffeeZilla did, he actually did also in the video. He tried to reinterpret information. He tried to twist and turn facts just so it supported his side, which is something he said CoffeeZilla did a lot. Overall, Logan Paul has just made a shit show out of the entire situation. He could have chose to stay quiet, which big YouTubers have been known to do, and he's been known to do it. But he chose not to stay quiet. He chose to respond to it, but he did not respond in the best way he possibly could have. Actually, that's actually giving him too much credit, because there's no way he could have responded any better than this, because nothing he could have said made it better. And I'm going to go into the video right now just so I can show you. Now, the clip is, as I said, is not on YouTube anymore. So I'll go through it through Moist Critical's video that he posted on his channel. And I'll essentially let Moist Critical do most of the talking because he makes good points. But I'll like chime in, obviously.
What's he going to give us? Well, so far it looks like he's given us just barely enough nutrients to survive. Like, I'm still hungry. CoffeeZilla released a 3-part series on an investigation that spanned the course of a year. Logan Paul gave us a 7-minute appetizer that he's trying to serve us as the entree. Like, come on, there's no meat on these bones here.
7 minutes for a response video. CoffeeZilla does three response videos, right? Over a year. Each response video is above 20 minutes, I think, right? But regardless, if you add up all the videos, the video is close to an hour long. He does a 3-minute response video. He couldn't even be bothered to go above and beyond. He didn't even hit that 10-minute mark. Like, he could not have been more bothered to hit that 10-minute mark. And it's worse because if he actually went a little bit more into detail, he probably could have explained his side better, but he chose not to.
Let's ride.
CoffeeZilla. I watched your 3-part series called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam, and like many on this platform, you have successfully used my name for views and money. While your work used to be impartial, your addiction to clicks has clouded your judgment, and you've made very real errors with very real repercussions. Coffee, you took a shot at my reputation. So in this video today, I'm going to be defending myself with facts, something that you have gotten in the habit of twisting as you continue to morph from an investigator to a gossip channel. CoffeeZilla tried to work with law enforcement in the past, but his work was described as not anchored to truth and often speculative. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, and he's nothing more than the Keemstar of crypto and finance. But as opposed to just telling you, I'm going to show you some of the core discrepancies that I caught.
Oh, that's such a big claim.
Okay. Now I gotta stop there, okay, so I can address this. This is something Moist Critical also addresses later on, right? But Moist Critical has contact with CoffeeZilla to some degree, and he reached out to him, right? And CoffeeZilla denies these claims. CoffeeZilla says, right, what he actually says is, I'll pull up the tweet right now. So on screen you can see the message response that Moist Critical got from CoffeeZilla, and I quote, "He also does really weird slander moves where he says that I used to work for law enforcement, or try to. That literally never happened. He says my work was described as not anchored in truth or something, but literally my only interaction with law enforcement is during CoffeeZilla. I was asked to hand over evidence I had found that later led to the arrest of this guy named Jay Mazzini," I think that's how you say it. "And I definitely never tried to work with law enforcement." He never tried to work with law enforcement, right? Now, this could just be a he said, she said situation where Logan Paul is going to say one thing, CoffeeZilla is going to say one thing. Maybe he did. Maybe CoffeeZilla did try to work with law enforcement, right? But based off of what I could have gathered online, what I tried to gather, this is as far, like, what CoffeeZilla says is close to the truth as what I could find. I'm not going to back him up on this, but I kind of believe him, especially for the scum Logan is. I can't take Logan's side.
To Switzerland and held it hostage for $1 million. Well, his name is Zach Kelling. Surely, as the internet detective that you proclaim to be, you would know that he spent time in prison for multiple felonies, one for aggravated robbery, armed robbery at a liquor store, and the other for—
Sounds like a good member of the CrytoSCAM team.
The legal process. I can see why you kept him anonymous.
Who will be calling Z here.
I guess, among many things, had not only an agenda, but a fondness for orange jumpsuits.
Why is he on your team? In fact, him omitting that detail makes you look a little more competent.
Yeah, I agree with Moist Critical here, obviously. What the fuck were you thinking, Logan? You hired a criminal who you knew was a criminal who had multiple felonies to work on your project. What skill did he have, first of all? I want to know this. Why'd you hire him? For what purpose, right? He steals your code. He flees to Switzerland, right? What were you expecting, right? From a guy who has multiple felonies, what, you wanted to give him a chance? You're just more incompetent than, like, I expected. You're more incompetent than anyone expected. You should have kept this information out. The fact that CoffeeZilla kept that information out makes Logan Paul look better in everyone's eyes. It makes him look better. Logan Paul just exposed himself for the people he chose to hire.
Now that I know you hired a fucking criminal to work on the project, I have even less faith in you to make good choices. This doesn't discredit anything. At all, actually. This just makes you look worse.
Or did you just hear what you wanted to hear and moved on? Because even if you're lying to yourself, Steven, you still have to believe it. And I know what you're thinking. What type of idiot would work with an unsavory individual?
That
like
is what I was
Jack
thinking.
Kelly? I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process, who has turned out to be a professional con man that I have since learned fooled billionaires, the Mormon Church, the owner of the New York Yankees, and
Hey, who'd you learn that from, Logan? Which source did you learn that information from? Surely it wasn't Steven, since you're talking about how untruthful and how often speculative and wrong it is, so surely you didn't learn that information from Steven, right, Logan?
invest in a cryptocurrency, was allegedly responsible for 2 rug pulls before you interviewed him. So either you missed that or you knew it and failed to let the public know. Why? Because it was a clear sign that he was also untrustworthy. You seemed 1 second of research would prove that to be false, as you can definitely hatch eggs and even breed your animals.
Click on that. Oh, we got a duck.
And as you pointed out in your fine print, cross-hatching was available on ETH at one point, but you perpetuated the opposite as truth with your chest out.
Basically, nothing worked.
And by the way, Guy, almost all NFTs are just pictures.
No, it's just a picture.
So now this is where some of CoffeeZilla's like investigation kind of does fall short, because according to Logan Paul, now I didn't do information. I made this clear in my last video. I didn't do any information. Every detail I got was from CoffeeZilla's video or any other videos I saw online. And back then, Logan Paul did not make a response video or have any video related to CryptoZoo, right? So I kind of believed Steven for his word. I believed CoffeeZilla for his word, and I assumed that the game just didn't work. It wasn't even a game. It was just pictures, right? Or something like that. Now, Logan Paul makes the claim that his game did work, right? And he shows videos and images and everything that the game did work. And fine, yeah, it works. You could buy eggs. You could trade them. You could breed them. You could do everything he kind of advertised. But that doesn't excuse the fact that you still scammed so many people through your so-called game. It was still a scam. Like, a lot of your team tried to, like, steal money, right? A lot of your team tried to sell. At the end of the day, you still took a lot of money from people for a product that you were trying to deliver, a project you were trying to deliver that didn't exactly pan out the way you wanted, and then you went silent. That's the worst part about this, Logan. It's not that your project didn't go the way you expected and that Eddie Ibanez turned out to be the scam and con artist he is, and that the guy you hired fled to Switzerland. The worst part is that you did not even respond to any of the allegations. You went silent until CoffeeZilla uploaded these investigation videos. That's when you responded. That's when this video that you see on screen that he has now taken off of his channel, that is when he came out with this response. This response should have came out a year ago, and it should have been more tuned and aimed towards his failed project, but it was not. It wasn't tuned and aimed towards his failed project. It wasn't that. It only came, the only reason this response video is out, because it's affecting his reputation, because the situation is now being brought to light.
I repeat, and illegal. I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it.
So as you guys just saw, Logan Paul's gonna take legal action against CoffeeZilla. Right? He pretty much alluded to it, and he straight up says this. At the end of his video, he calls out CoffeeZilla, tells him, you better lawyer up because I am coming for all that ad revenue. He's coming against CoffeeZilla. And honestly, here's the thing. He's going to bring a defamation case against CoffeeZilla, which I guess maybe he can. Maybe there's some legal grounds, some little bits of legal grounds. But for one, none of this has actually affected Logan Paul in any way, okay? He still has his channel. He's still up and running, right? He still has his fame. He still gets his viewers, regardless of the fact that if the investigation has legal grounds or not, his biggest legal point is that CoffeeZilla recorded a conversation with Logan Paul's manager Jeff, which is illegal, 3 years imprisonment, whatever, right? That is the biggest legal point that Logan Paul has. A defamation case does not really make sense because it has not affected Logan Paul in any way except just bring his CrytoSCAM, which, let me repeat, has been out and about for over a year, something he committed last year, I believe. It's still there. You still did it. He just brought it to light. That's all that changed.
Talked about this. If you had reached out to me personally, not my manager Jeff, who is not me, Steven, but the first time you did was on Christmas Eve after you released your series so you could rely on false statements and unreliable people used recklessly. That's fine. You've denied my invitation multiple times. You're still invited. It can be a one-on-one. If not, we're going to handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
Amen.
CryptoZoo is still being worked on? Who would have guessed? I definitely wouldn't have guessed, given there's been videos out and about saying that he's moved past CryptoZoo and is now working on a new project. But now, suddenly, he's working on CryptoZoo. Suddenly. Now, CryptoZoo has a new release date of 2023 or 2024 because he doesn't know himself. Because a game that he teased that technically came out last year, he's still working on it, right? Still trying to figure out how the fuck not to scam people out of this project and make money for himself, which, let's be honest, is his main goal. It's always been his main goal, and it still is his main goal. He still intends to release his project in 2023 or 2024. We'll see how that progresses, but I honestly have no hope that it'll be a project that works out. If it does, all power to Logan Paul. But if it doesn't, which I don't think it will, everyone will be on that, and he'll just give CoffeeZilla a new reason to clown on him. So, as long as Logan Paul hasn't hired more scammers and con artists and people who have a tendency to rob and have fucking felonies to lead the project, he probably would be good. Probably, if he hires like actual people to work on the project. But other than that, I have no hope in the project. The project died last year. The day it came out, it died. So I don't know why he wants to keep pushing this. He should try to move past it, but he'll just make it worse for himself if this new release date and this new updated CryptoZoo project turns out to be a bigger failure than the last. Logan Paul later went on to his Impulsive podcast after deleting this video where he talked about the CrytoSCAM and then apologizing to George, which is something I brought up in my last video. Again, he doesn't do a good job at anything. I understand why he deleted this video, which was because he didn't really do a good job in this video explaining anything. But like in his Impulsive podcast, and his podcast is like an hour and 20 minutes long. That gives him a lot of time to talk about this, but he chooses to make it a segment of his entire podcast, which, okay, sure, that's on you, buddy. Anyways, that's pretty much it. There's nothing more to talk about. His response video was trash, as I've already stated. That's honestly why he took it down, which I find funny. It's a big ha-ha moment when he realizes that his own response video was so bad he should probably take it down. And as I said, his podcast response wasn't any better than his video response. So right now he's 0-1 to CoffeeZilla. But yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.